players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 30s north, upper 30s south. A decrease in any cloud cover tonight. The overnight low will drop down in the mid-teens north, low 20s south. And then Wednesday, lots of sunshine remaining cold. Our high right around 30 north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Your boat is a piece of junk.
Yeah, but they don't make them like this anymore.
Gee, I wonder why.
What?
You know, we could have rented a nice boat or a party barge right here at the park.
Huh? Rent?
Yeah, and your tent is moldy, too.
Moldy? What are you, the boat and tent police?
We could have stayed in one of the park yurts. Big, roomy tent already set up right on the lake. Yeah, DeGray Lake Resort State Park has lots of things for rent.
Instant campsite, eh?
Why not? Or we could have stayed at the park lodge, enjoyed the restaurant, the heated pool.
Do I do anything right?
Well, yeah, you married my sister.
Now I remember why I let you in my boat.
So the next time we and the girls get together here at DeGray Lake Resort, you let me make the plans?
Plan away.
Well, if we ever get back to shore, I will. Online at DeGray.com.
Sponsored by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and your Arkansas State Parks. My park, your park, our parks.
You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, there's a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one today. You got a team in here that the perspective. Oh, man, if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning and hello, and how you staying warm out there? Well, you know what? It's winter. We talk about the cold as if it's something that's kind of shocking and everything. We do this every year. Don't we do this every year about this time of the year? Yeah, we had our little December winter summerish kind of thing going on, but we actually get real winter now. And it doesn't bother me all that much. Got a fireplace, got a heater, got blankets, got sweatshirts. We got plenty of ways to stay warm here, including doing sports radio. Good morning. Phil Elson here, my partner Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston in the producer's chair. This is halftime, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Good morning, Matt. I find ways to stay warm. Then, had a fire going a little bit last night. That helps. I'll tell you one thing that's really warm, and it feels like it's changed a little bit in the last couple of years. I don't know when it was like when you played for Coach Richardson and Coach Heath at basketball, but I remember the first time I ever walked inside Bud Walton Arena, I thought to myself, do they have the heat up to 85 in this building? And I asked Jerry Thorpe about it, who was women's basketball SID then, and she said they basically kept it the same from when Nolan was the coach. He liked to have a very warm arena, had nothing to do with what it was like outside, because he wanted those players loose and ready to run the floor, the 40 minutes of hell. It's a little bit colder these days. What was it like when you walked in, Bud Walton, if you remember that temperature?
Well, happy Tuesday, and it seems like a good day to be in a cozy cabin in the Ozarks.
That's right.
It's a little frigid outside. I think Coach Richardson could just look at you and turn the heat up. So It was man, you were in shape. You know, you were 19, 20 years old. You run all day.
I wondered, like, do you really need the heat in order to get your body moving and everything? It certainly looked like women's basketball has had to do that. They've had a little bit of issue with slow starts. I don't know. Cal yesterday on the radio show said Bud Walton will be warm, but I don't know if he meant just warm because it's warm compared to what it's like outside, or they're actually going to turn the heat up a little bit. I wouldn't mind that at all, to be honest, because whatever you need to try to jumpstart the team after a loss against Tennessee, and I don't think you're facing quite the same kind of team tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, of course, right here, 5:30 for the pregame with Chuck and Zim. 6:02 will be the tip-off, and we get into the rhythm of the basketball season now. You know, I don't know if it feels like there's a rhythm in the non-conference portion of the season. I mean, you get, it's not that Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday routine that you can fall into for these next couple of months. And what that means now is you get a chance to put a loss behind you, a bad loss behind you, one that is on the road against number one, but one that you never really were in the ball game. So tomorrow's a big opportunity. It's also a chance to hopefully pack the house at 6 o'clock. And, man, I'll tell you, from the excitement that everybody had from when Cal was hired as the head coach and from the start of the season, I hope that hasn't dissipated too much to where you don't get the kind of crowd that you should get for an SEC opening game. Because as we've been saying, and I think Cal has pointed this out, everybody that's pointing attention to SEC basketball right now is saying, you better win your home games because the road games are going to be really tough to win. And you got a couple of them coming up. I mean, you got a road game against Florida coming up on Saturday. That to me is just as difficult as playing against Tennessee, Matt. So this is every week is important right now in SEC play. This week, incredibly important because you just want something to put this Tennessee game behind you.
Yeah, watch the tape, learn from it, burn it. This is it'll be a totally different game. It's you got to go. You want to think. You support the team. I'm trying to think how much real NBA talent. There's going to be 6 or 7 guys drafted in the first round from the SEC in every draft. So every team doesn't have 5 guys on it that are going to the NBA. So but there is saying that there's a lot of talent on this Arkansas Razorback team, and they're going to win a lot of games. They're fun to watch. They're athletic. They can get up and down the court. I mean, I think that Florida game is going to be real similar. It's going to be a track meet, maybe first one to 100. I think this Ole Miss game is going to be more of a hit you in the face type of game, be physical, slow it down. Ole Miss isn't going to try to run with this like Florida is. So they're going to be 2 different games you're going to get to see. But, man, go out and support the team.
Man, that is the one thing I worry a little bit about for the Florida game. Maybe not so much against Ole Miss. It's, if you get into a track meet, you got to have all of your scorers scoring. And for me, that means, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse about this, and I always say, why are we beating dead horses? I don't mean to belabor the point from yesterday, but I mean, if you've watched it, you know it. If Arkansas is going to win any sort of a track meet, Nellie Davis has to be the Nellie Davis that they thought they signed. And he just isn't that right now. I think hopefully he's on the way back to being that, just getting back on the floor on Saturday and trying to get timing back hopefully helps out. But hopefully this week we see some signs, because you saw some signs that he was coming out of that slump before he had to sit for a couple of days or for a couple of games because of that wrist. So, I mean, if I'm going to pick one thing that I think needs to happen, I shouldn't put a date on it saying it's got to happen this week, but sometime soon in the near future, Janelle Davis needs to be Janelle Davis, the guy that was one of the best scorers in college basketball last year. Because I think you got guys that can score. Obviously Boogie can score, DJ can score. That's all on the outside. Janelle, too, he's got to be able to get to the rim. I think you get a better performance from Thero offensively. And, I do wonder about what Jonas Adu will bring to you offensively. I mean, you pointed out a little bit of trouble catching the ball in there. I think he provides a big presence defensively. But when you're looking at the Florida game, Matt, you're right. I mean, I watched him go up and down the floor with Kentucky. It's rare to see 2 college teams score in the 100s. That tells me they can certainly pull it out. And Saturday be a track meet, but I don't think tomorrow will be. Got to get a win. I mean, you got to win the home game and then see what happens on Saturday against Florida, because I do think there's 4 or 5 SEC road wins out there. I'm not sure if I view Saturday as one of them because Florida does look incredibly good.
Well, yeah, the thing about our big guy, number 9, is he's just not natural with it. It's not that he can't work on it and get better. It's just he does. He struggles a little bit, tight spaces, catching the ball. But, I mean, just work. That's something you work on. Get a ball in your hand all the time, because there's times he can dominate the paint. I've seen him do it. I've seen him go 3, 4, 5-minute stretches where he's the beast. He's the man in the middle on both sides, offenses and defense. So, yeah, you want to get as much out of him as you can. He can be – you want him playing good if you're going to make any type of run.
Well, I think this team will be making some runs. I still view it as a team that can finish above 500 in the SEC, get a decent seed, and then see what happens when you get into March, because that's what it's all about, right? It's all what happens in March. Here's what's going on halftime today for a Tuesday. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio at 1:15. We're a couple days away from the resumption of the college football playoff with the Orange Bowl, followed by the Cotton Bowl. Of course, we have 5 days in a row with playoff football. That's something that's brand new. Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation joining us at 12:15, and nobody throughout the first hour. So we'll be open for you when we get into it here at 877-377-6963. Literally freezing all across our listening audience. 21 degrees right now in Fayetteville, just a tad warmer in Fort Smith. Central Arkansas is in the high 20s. And I got to be thankful that I have a job, Matt, you too, where we work indoors. But, man, you know what it's like to play outdoors in some freezing temperatures. But at least you're able to keep your body warm by moving somehow. Gavin texted in. He's a power lineman. And, man, do we count on those people, really, I mean, every day, 52 weeks a year. But when it comes down to cold and freezing and potential ice and snow later in the week, oh, man, Gavin, we certainly depend on people like you to keep us warm and you know, everything we need to do in order to stay alive. So I'd say good luck to you. He asked for prayers for all of those who work outside. You've got them. They're coming right at you, because it's not the best day to be outside, and it's not going to be nice really for the entire week. But you know what, Gavin? You know what it is. It's winter, and this is exactly what happens in winter. Lots going on halftime. We'll get some sound from yesterday's Coach Cal radio show in just a moment here on Halftime.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
This is Halftime. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes free tax extra.
At Phil Wright Autoplex in Russellville,
we know you have many places to buy a car. Our competitive pricing and no-pressure sales team
has made us your premier GMC and Chevrolet dealer in the River Valley for almost 50 years.
Our impressive inventory is changing daily. Shop online 24/7 at philwright.com.
For a simplified buying process, trust Phil Wright Autoplex. Great inventory, great prices, and an overall great buying experience. Exit 84 off I-40, Russellville.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. While the students are away for winter break, we want you to fill in and bring the energy to the Trough. You can relive the glory days and be a student at any of our 4 winter break games. Only a limited number of tickets are available, so head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com to purchase yours today.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
The dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. It's a dream of the 1890s in Portland.
Remember when kids grew up to be artisan bakers? Everyone had homemade haircuts, guys shaved with straight razors.
I mean, I don't remember. I wasn't born, but yeah, I've read about it.
Belts didn't really exist yet. Everyone wore suspenders. Everyone used to carve their own ice cubes.
I thought that died out 120 years ago.
Not in Portland.
It's the dream of the 1890s in Portland.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on Halftime. Matt, is this the first time you played a song from, I think, your favorite television program, Portlandia?
We've played Washed Out. That's their theme song, Feel It All Around. But that was it's 1890s. You know, we're sleeping into 11 is still acceptable in Portland.
Well, you remember when everybody was growing up to be artisan bakers. That's right.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's what the pandemic was about, right?
You could go to
Everybody was
clown
making
school.
Sourdough starter.
You know, I quit clowning years ago. Not in Portland.
I don't know. We doing this radio show though. And look, Matt got me onto Portlandia. Heck, that was like 6 or 7 years ago. I still don't watch enough episodes of this, but there's a channel. I don't know what channel it is. It feels like it's the Portlandia channel. It's on 24/7. It's like if you were doing the TBS A Christmas Story for the 24 hours during Christmas. It's like they do that on this channel with Portlandia 365 days a year. I'm surprised you ever get off that channel. But that was, man, that was one I didn't expect. That sounded good. Good stuff. Who do you go with? You like Carrie or do you like Fred better? Because I like Fred, but I'm a Carrie guy.
Yeah, Carrie's. You know, her band is Slater Kinney. It's a '90s rock band. You know that.
I remember that.
Yeah, girls with their guitars. She's there. Yeah, Fred Armiston is. There's a movie called Band-Aid that he does with Zoe Lister-Jones and Adam Pally, and it's pretty funny. It'd be worth airplane movie or something. You know, you'll laugh at least twice.
I do need some things to watch with all this air travel now for basketball and baseball coming up, and I'm like 2 episodes into the second season of The Wire. I've already watched it, but it feels like there's more episodes of Portlandia than the Honeymooners. So might have a chance to get that on. Coach Cal radio show last night. Here's one of the things he said about the game against Tennessee.
A close win or close loss. If we'd have gone up there and it had been a 4-point game and we lost, it's not a crisis. And the crisis being you got to fight. You have to battle. There are times you're not making shots and you'll even miss free throws, but battle and keep it close because we got players that have a will to win.
Yeah, and you'll find out a lot about that coming up into tomorrow's. Man, my assumption is I've been around teams that get blown out, that have a lot of talent. These things just happen sometimes, especially when you're playing number one on the road. It looked awful. It wasn't a good game at all, but it's 1 of 18. And what happens coming up next will matter a lot more. It's a matter, I don't know if it's a matter of pride necessarily, but I just expect that you see a team that comes out focused, ready to pounce, and ready to defend their home floor. Because, he's right. A loss is a loss. They all count the same. The committee's going to look at things a bit differently because the margin of victory certainly counts.
I was going to say, when the standings, if you're tied, isn't that the second thing they go to? But they head-to-head, then they go to point differential. So it does matter.
You mean in the SEC tiebreaker?
Yeah, so it does matter how bad you get beat, yeah.
And then when it comes to the committee making their selections, they're looking at that. The net ranking it all includes, if I remember correctly, up to 10-point scoring margin. So the margin of victory does matter. But when you're looking at the standings, it's one game, and then you got to go back and you got to get to the floor and find a way to pick up a victory the next time out. All I know is you're not going to win a game if you get out rebounded the way that Arkansas got out-rebounded by Tennessee. No, that should not happen against Ole Miss.
And all we talked about was rebounding, hitting the body, the toughness you're going to have. This is what they do. And I got 2 calls from the people in there said, you talked about all that. I don't think they quite believe me because it was that first SEC game.
Yeah, I wonder about if it's like the first SEC because so many of these guys already have SEC experience. Thero, Adu,
Illinois
Wagner.
and Michigan, those are both SEC teams, Phil. I mean, so we've played 2 teams that are real. I mean, I think Illinois is a team that can make a run. Baylor's physical as well. A&M's going to be physical. Mississippi's going to be physical.
Yeah, and so you get Ole Miss. You get Ole Miss on
Auburn's a
tomorrow.
physical team.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, I just expect most in the SEC are. I mean, it's
Florida's soft.
This is soft in a way, but they can still put a lot of points.
They're so athletic. They fly.
Just looking at Ole Miss rebounding, they're about even rebounding. So this is not the same as playing against the Tennessee team that destroyed you on the glass. With Ole Miss, they get really good shots and they have high percentage shooters, 45% from the field. They nail 9 3-pointers a game. So your perimeter defense is going to be tested. Heck, your perimeter defense was tested by just Chaz Lanier, for crying out loud. 5 for 9 long range. They hit 10 3-pointers. I'm going to assume Ole Miss is looking for the same thing. Yeah, I mean, and you're right too. It's the first SEC game. I wonder if a lot of it had to do with just going on the road for the first time. I mean, that was their first road game, right? Haven't played in an opponent's home floor except playing at Bud Walton, going to American Airlines Arena, T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, the Garden in New York. Am I missing one? I don't think I'm missing one.
The thing that scares me the most, I guess, if it's our free throw shooting, just shooting in general. You talk about Ole Miss being able to shoot the ball. It's just it's something you have to be able to do to be on the floor. And we don't hit enough open shots, and maybe that's just one game, and you don't worry about it, and you see what's moving on forward, and maybe they're going to do better. 3 and 21. I mean, those 2 dudes, they get to the hoop and they don't stop. They're relentless. I love it. I love how they go. But you gotta make your free throws. That's the scary stat to me. We're shooting 50% as a team in conference play. That's going forward. That's how you got to make your freebies.
And I mean, that's really a thing on Thero too. And for somebody that could get to the line as often as he does, heck, he's way
You don't
ahead
want
of
it to
anybody
change
else on
him.
the team in free throw attempts.
And that's what you don't want it to do. If you miss a couple free throws, you don't want him to lack in aggressiveness, and that'll happen mentally, subconsciously. You just went 0 for 4 from the free throw line the last 2 times. Maybe you don't attack. Maybe you shoot keep on. Even if you miss your free throws, you got to keep attacking. But mentally, it kind of wears on you.
You just figure sooner or later some of those free throws start to fall, right? Just looking at percentages for a guy's career. Thero right now is at 66%. And just taking a look at his career here, 71.6% for his. He was an 80% free throw shooter last year at Kentucky. How'd that happen? I mean, it's from 80% to making 2 out of every 3. I mean, that's a precipitous fall. He's had a real swing in terms of the ability to make free throws in his career. 60, almost 70% as a freshman, 80% as a sophomore. So you're thinking, this is a guy who's getting a lot better. And now 2 out of 3, pretty much, including 0 for 4 against Kentucky. I would assume that won't happen again. But here's somebody that has already shown
against Tennessee.
He can make Tennessee. He can make the free throws. It's just not happening right now.
He's one of our most talented players. He is. I mean, you're going to go. He's going to be one of our leaders. You're going to go as far as he takes us. I mean, 3, 21, Flan, 9. You start looking at kind of the guys that are going to play the bulk of the minutes, and then it's who's going to be. I know you like Jonell Davis. Is he going to step up and be getting the 25, 30 minutes? Is it going to be Knox? Is it going to be Richmond? How good is Brazil and Big Z going to be? I mean, how are they going to come to fruition? Because those are kind of our 4s, our bigs that have to be. They have to kind of take a little bit of that to pride as far as they just got dominated on the boards. I mean, there's no reason if Brazil, if you're a competitor, Big Z, if the bigs, you can't let that happen again. You can't just get out rebounded by 20.
Yeah, and I like Jonell Davis, but I like the Jonell Davis, the version that they signed to come in this year. We haven't quite seen it yet. Now, I got nothing against the guy. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's so, like looking at Lanier for Tennessee. He was at North Florida before, 18 points a game, coming out of the Atlantic Sun. It's one of those levels that you do wonder if it'll translate up to the SEC, and boy, does it translate. I mean, that guy, all he needs is the slightest little bit of room anywhere around the perimeter, and that thing is going down. That's somebody that was playing at a level lower than where Davis was playing last year, but he's doing exactly what Tennessee needs from him right now. And with Dave, look, it's not a matter of either he's a bad basketball player or he's just not giving any effort or anything. There's an injury there. That's what that's about. It's just, I feel like they signed him to be the top veteran scorer of the club, and right now that's not what he is. You need him to be that, especially if you have a rotation of 8 to 9.
He doesn't look like he's up to speed with that SEC basketball. Lanier looks like he knows the speed and the pace. Jonell looks like he's a step slow. I think his role is going to have to be a primary defender, be one of our best defensive guards, because I don't see it. As far as him versus the other talent that we have on there, he seems like his step up in class. Maybe he bit off a little more than he can chew, because I don't know if he's ready to play in the SEC.
Halftime's brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Been serving our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas going for over 70 years. Crabtree RV Center is at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel. Going to help your family with the best experience choosing an RV for the adventures you describe. Service and parts department on site. Got everything you need right there at Crabtree RV. Get a look online at crabtreerv.com. A quick break on halftime. 877-377-6963 is our phone number for calls and texts. We'll get into some of these trade rumors and NFL coaches right after this.
Got a 911 with a quadraphonic Blaupunkt. Don't need a quadraphonic Blaupunkt. What you need is a curveball.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's all to 321-321.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive, and financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hey everyone, Erica Jensen here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Are you happy with your current office technology provider? Did you know that AAA Business Systems has been in business since 1979 and longer than any other provider in Northwest Arkansas? Listen up, I may be a Cajun girl at heart, but I'm a Razorback through and through. Call me today at 479-442-4185 to learn more about the one company that can truly change the way you work and remember anything else is just a copy.
Are you looking for the cheapest prices on car insurance? Then call the Cheap Car Insurance Hotline right now. Hey, you're guaranteed to save money on your car insurance. Most car insurances can be canceled at any time. That means if you find a better deal, you can switch right away. We're not just one company. We offer most of the major brands of car insurance. We're like a discount supermarket for car insurance. And it doesn't matter if you have a good record or a bad driving record. Our agents are experts at finding you the right car insurance for your needs. Our average customer saves hundreds of dollars a year when they call us to switch. So why don't you make this 100% free call right now and see how much you can save on your car insurance?
800-493-6114. 800-493-6114. 800-493-6114. That's 800-493-6114.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's your job, it's just like you feel.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Well, you don't see this stuff kind of often, but there are some trade rumors being thrown around in the NFL involving coaches. One of them is Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the number 2 seed in the NFC. Well, they're not the number 2 seed because they didn't win a division championship, but they had the second best record of the NFC, Minnesota. And the other is Mike McCarthy. Apparently, the Bears are interested in trading for Mike McCarthy. Here's Jerry Jones on Coach McCarthy.
Well, I spoke to the whole team, and Mike was in the room with all the coaches and the whole team. And, of course, Mike's one of the best coaches that I think there is. He was made the coach here because I thought that, and he's done absolutely nothing to diminish my opinion of him as a coach. I'm really impressed with the way the players identified with him, and that's important. That's important because he's had some times when each one of those players individually, as well as a team, have not been fun times. So he's been there in his way for them on an individual basis. He's been there in his way for them on a team basis. At the end of the day, you know that these are people. All I've got to do is see Bill Bates out here today, and years flash through my mind about days with Bill, a glass of tea or anything like that. There's lots of things that go into being together, win games, and win a championship.
So according to Jerry, McCarthy's done nothing to change his opinion of him as a coach. I mean, the guy has 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, just not the playoff resume with Dallas that he had with the Green Bay Packers. I mean, with Green Bay, 10-8 in the postseason, 1-3 with Dallas, and not making the postseason quite often is a reason to get canned by a franchise like that. After 5 years, I wonder. But if you're Jerry Jones, Matt, don't you have to at least listen to what the Bears might have to say here? But on the other hand, that means you got to go hire another coach, and it doesn't sound like he's interested in doing that right now.
Yeah, you'd listen to some offers. How many draft picks you think you could get? What was didn't Sean Payton get traded for a second-round draft pick, I believe,
I think so.
A few years ago? So I don't know what it would be worth, what you could get. You know,
the
does
Saints
he want to
got a
go
first-round pick. They got a second-round pick. And New Orleans gave Denver a third-round pick, too. So it was 3 picks that they got for him.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to go coach Caleb Williams? You see these coaches get tied. Don't they get tied? I mean, Brady's always tied with Belichick. I mean, I know Brady went and won another one, but Belichick maybe even more being tied to Brady. You look at his record with Brady and all his other quarterbacks. You got to have a quarterback. I mean, do you trust Caleb Williams? I mean, is that kind of how you
Not
look
right
at
now.
it? Do you, if your relationship with Jerry Jones is good and you're the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys and you like it and it's still a good vibe, why would you? I mean, what's there to change? I mean, you are winning. It's tough to win a Super Bowl. It's tough. It's tough to win 12 games and to be able to do that, that's pretty good. They lost their D coordinator a couple years. Quinn Cook was it he went to the Redskins, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's his name?
Is it Dan Quinn?
Dan
Yeah.
Quinn.
That's right.
Yeah. And so and they've had some injuries going on, and your windows are like this in the NFL. You know, they're 3-4 year windows, and they had a window, I thought, a couple years ago, and for whatever reason it didn't work out.
You'd have to agree to the trade, though. Like, you can't trade a coach unless he agrees to it. It would be my assumption here. It's like a player, unless it's, if it's written into the contract, you get a no-trade clause. You get a choice of 5 or 6 teams that you're okay being dealt to, or you rescind your no-trade clause. But if there's no clause in the contract for an athlete, that player just gets dealt, and there's really not much that he can do about it.
Those are 2 tough divisions. The NFC East and the NFC North. I mean, probably 2 of the best divisions. You know, I
think the NFC North is the toughest right now.
Detroit and Michigan, and then Minnesota, and then Green Bay. Oh my goodness.
Well, it doesn't look like it's going to get any easier anytime soon. I'd say the same with the NFC East. You just look at the
exactly.
Youth.
Is Jalen Hurts going to play this week?
Positions.
Is that the rumor out there that so think about Saquon Barkley. I mean, they go one and done. They're playing the Green Bay Packers, who they played week 1 in Brazil, if you remember that, to kind of kick off the season. That's the matchup right there that Who's the hottest team? A lot of people said Cincinnati, Phil, as far as like some of the underdog teams. I think Green Bay can beat just about anybody as well.
Looks like Hurts should be ready to go. He was at the Saturday walkthrough. No, he's non-committal about the status, so they're still not sure about that. I tell you what,
concussion protocol. That's the thing. Yeah.
If I'm Philadelphia, I'd be worried going in with Kenny Pickett, because Pickett got into that's another aspect too, and this is on a different franchise, and it's all about playoff success too, with a team that continues to get to the playoffs. But it's a Mike Tomlin. Tomlin and McCarthy, man, they're always going to share the Super Bowl in Dallas together. The Packers winning that one, but they're both, wouldn't say necessarily exactly in the same boat, because McCarthy's had a couple of losing seasons here and there. Tomlin, there's this thought that it's like Andy Reid. Reid had a really nice run with Philadelphia, with McNabb, and they made it to a Super Bowl. I think it was 3, maybe 4 NFC Championship games, but never were able to get over the top. I mean, they lost to one of the Patriots Super Bowl teams. So he leaves, goes out for a couple of years, ends up with the Chiefs, and now he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? I mean, he wins 3 Super Bowls with a guy who's on the short list of quarterbacks. Tomlin could be the same kind of guy. I don't know if maybe McCarthy. McCarthy's already on a second franchise. I mean, I think it's pretty impressive to win a Super Bowl with one and then win division titles with another. Just don't have that sort of playoff success. The one that really stands out, though, is the rumors around Kevin O'Connell, because he's got a team that's in the playoffs right now.
I'd actually like to go back to John's first question, Shad. Back to you.
Well, that's actually a different one that I was talking about. I think I might have clicked the wrong one here. Yeah, I was clicking the one about here. This is a different thing, but the O'Connell thing, I mean, he's getting a team ready for the playoffs, and now he's got to respond to rumors about this or that team, and nobody knows who they are. I'm assuming the Bears would be one of them. You wouldn't be trading your coach to a division rival, would you? That's just something that, I mean, there's no other answer he can give other than, I'm the coach of the Vikings. I like coaching here. We're getting ready for the playoffs, and that's what I'm focused on. But until all the hirings are finished, he'll keep getting this question. It's just got to be annoying, especially for somebody that's still early in his tenure in Minnesota, has this great season that kind of came out of nowhere, and has got to answer questions about whether or not he's going to get traded to coach somewhere else. It'd be tough for a player to deal with that kind of thing. For a coach, I mean, he probably just is able to slough it off. And man, I mean, you do the trade. It feels like there's many more trades with coaches in football than any other sport. I don't think there's been a baseball manager traded for 40 years. I don't ever remember hearing it happen in basketball. There's something about football where you can, and it's usually going to be draft capital too. In fact, it's always draft capital, isn't it?
Was Phil Jackson ever traded? I'm trying to think as a coach when he went, Bulls, Lakers, Pat Riley kind of bouncing around. I guess they weren't ever traded.
So I remember a baseball trade from, might have been like 77. The Pirates traded their catcher, Manny Sanguillen, and got a manager who was Chuck Tanner, ends up taking them to the World Championship 2 years later. There haven't been a manager trade in baseball since.
Would you think if you're a franchise going after O'Connell, you think is it tied with Sam Darnold? Are you bringing, because Sam Darnold's contract's up? Would that be kind of a package deal?
That's an interesting question, because I guess it would be the team, whatever team he goes to. Obviously, the Bears are looking for a coach. Jacksonville is looking for a coach. The Jets are looking for a coach. The Patriots, are those the only 4 teams right now, I think, that are actively in the job search for a head coach? So if you look at those teams, Jets,
3 of them have a quarterback that you think is your franchise guy,
right? Jacksonville, there's Lawrence. The Jets, you have no idea what the situation is.
That would be the one that, Chicago, you still think Caleb Williams is your guy. And then Drake May. Yeah.
So I would think that the quarterback doesn't go with O'Connell in that case. But also, if I'm O'Connell, I don't want to leave. I don't want to be traded to a place that's got to rebuild at all. That doesn't sound like fun. That doesn't sound like what you signed up for at all. You signed up to coach the Minnesota Vikings. But if you're the Vikings, it's like, what would you want to trade this guy for? You look at what he's done for you in just a couple of years. So I think it sounds like it's just rumors and nothing else. I'd be surprised if a coach what'd they finish? 14-3? If you're a franchise and you trade your head coach and you went 14-3 that year, whatever happens to you in the near future is on you. I mean, it already is anyway, but I just can't imagine you pull something like that off. Wouldn't make any sense.
How lucky you had Kirk Cousins, you had him for a couple years, and then he gets hurt, and so you trade him to Atlanta, or you let him go, and then you draft J.J. McCarthy and get Sam Darnold, and just it blossoms. It all hits right there. That was pretty. There's no right way to get the right quarterback. That's the route they took.
All right, I do see. All right, Ozzie Guillen, we brought him up before.
White Sox.
He was traded.
Yeah.
He was traded from the White Sox to the Marlins in 2012, and it didn't go very well for him at all there because he got fired after 1 year. So I guess there have been a couple of other trades I was unaware of in that case. The Mariners traded Lou Piniella to the D-Rays.
Sweet Lou.
Yeah, and got an outfielder in return. But in this case, it's the manager that's sort of doing the work. He's like, I'm gonna go find a place to manage. You don't want me here anymore. We're still under contract, so you get something for it. Yeah, Nate says, look at that. You're not going to trade a coach that takes you from 6-10 to 14-3. If you trade a coach that improved your win total by 8 over the course of his tenure, to me, I don't know if that's something that Woody Johnson's teenage son Brick would allow you to do. And if Brick says you can't do it, well, you should never pull anything like that out. By the way, Woody Johnson says my teenage sons don't have any input on the team. I don't know what else you can say about it.
Yeah, it sounds like what you would say. It's a good thing they don't have ratings on coaches on the game yet, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to say he's not rated high enough on the game. That might be coming next on the next Madden. They'll start rating the coaches.
Greatest trade of all time was the Jets trading Belichick to the Patriots. For the Patriots.
I thought it was the Cowboys trading Herschel Walker and getting all those draft picks to start their franchise.
In a coach trade, I'd say it would be that Belichick way, because, of course, the Jets didn't have a chance. But you're right. In terms of a player trade, that one, I don't think there'll ever be one that quite equals how many draft picks they get for Herschel. Was it 7?
I was going to say, I thought it was 5, like top 100 picks, but they got more than what they had used all. It's just a shame, because if he had a couple more years left, Herschel was, he was amazing.
All right, so I did play a little bit of this soundbite. I didn't mean to. Another team that's looking for a head coach, Shad Khan, the Jaguars owner. Now, remember, he got rid of Doug Peterson. He said he's keeping Trent Baalke. There's a but, though. Listen to this.
So I'd actually like to go back to John's first question, Shad, back to you. I know you noted that if this head coaching candidate was to say, hey, I think the medical needs to be reevaluated, the health and wellness, if they were to say, I would like to reevaluate the front office and the general manager, what would your response be?
My response would be, how would you improve it? And then if it is credible, you want to do it, okay?
So the general manager not involved at all in the hiring of the coach. Automatically, to me, that makes it feel like, well, I guess the way that Khan is talking here, if the coach comes in and says, yeah, I'll work with him, well, then automatically Baalke might feel happy about this because he gets to keep his job. But if I hear this from the owner, and it's like, well, my job description, my job security now depends upon how this new coach coming in views the organization, what do you even have a general manager for at that point? You're going to hire a coach who's going to fire the GM. Do you turn the coach into the GM? That hasn't really worked very well of late. Just a very interesting insight there. I don't understand why an owner would keep a general manager, have his reasons to do that, but then hire a coach and let the coach fire the GM. It seems like a weird way to run an organization. But he's the one with the money.
Yeah, maybe they'll get it together. Maybe they'll figure it out. It's kind of that you look at different organizations, and I think Shedeur Sanders, he had came out and said he'll play for anybody, which I don't know if but if you remember with Eli and Phillip Rivers, the Mannings, they didn't want him to go to San Diego because of the way the organization was run, and I guess the Giants haven't done much better, but Eli did win 2 Super Bowls.
Who's got the top overall pick? Tennessee?
Nashville.
Sanders, would Shedeur say not going to play for them? Yeah, I guess some people would have thought he'd be a quarterback or somebody that'd say, nah, I'm not going to play for him or them. Remember Caleb last year, the rumors, and it was just a rumor, I think, wanted ownership stake in the team, at least a small ownership stake in the team. I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is asking for that.
There's no way I'm drafting him number 1 overall.
I saw a mock today that's got Ward going 1 to the Titans, Sanders going 2. And I'm not quite sure if either one of them necessarily are going to be the guy to go in and save a franchise. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. A quick break, and we'll be back to wrap up the first hour after this.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is halftime.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer to customized industrial hoses.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With a new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas.
Every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Halftime is live on the road tomorrow. We're going to be in Rogers, and we will be at Pinnacle Grove's Senior Living. It's at 5522 West Northgate Road. It's right by the Amp. Can't miss it. It's Halftime Live tomorrow. We'll be there from 11 to 2 at Pinnacle Grove's, where luxury meets community spirit. You'll find everything from a state-of-the-art fitness center to a heated indoor swimming pool. Not just senior living, it is living your best life. No chores, all the fun. Pinnacle Grove Senior Living tomorrow, 11 to 2, halftime. It's at 5522 West Northgate Road. And we had a great time the last time we were there, expecting exactly the same thing. And who knows who ends up on the air with us, because I don't remember the name of the gentleman that sat down with us, but he'd had a 25-year radio career in Colorado. And the moment he opened his mouth, you could tell this was someone that knew what he was doing. So, who knows who shows up that's had some sort of radio career tomorrow, but my assumption is somebody will. 877-377-6963 to get with us here. I just read that Belichick is the only coach that had a dual role as general manager to win a Super Bowl since Bill Walsh did the same with the Niners. He won 3 there. I mean, back in the day, before the Super Bowl era, the coach sometimes was also the owner and the general manager, looking at George Halas and Paul Brown. Lombardi also had the dual roles, but it's much different now. I mean, that's pre-salary cap days. That's pre-free agency. It's just, and read an article, the point is, and it's I think it's true too, if you're going to be a coach who's also a general manager, you've got to have a trusty sidekick who handles the player personnel like Scott Pioli did. And I feel Pioli deserves so much credit for working with Belichick the way that he did. But, I mean, those two things have to go together. You're not going to be the coach, GM, and do all the player personnel too. It's just, that's a huge job. Both of those jobs are big. I just can't imagine doing both of them at the same time, especially in today's day and age. And that's also why, if you look into college, you got to have somebody to take all of those player personnel things off the coach's table. Not like the coach doesn't have decision-making in that, but in terms of the negotiation, value for a player, whatever you call it, general manager, chief of staff, I don't know. It seems general manager is the term that's going on. I mean, that to me, I mean, think of this. I mean, back in the day before the Super Bowl, coaches were general managers in the NFL quite a bit. That's what head coaches have been in college for over a century. But times are changing.
You got to do it by committee. You got to have a good group and it kind of, to your point you were making in the last segment about Shad, about getting a new coach but keeping the GM. I mean, you want a trusted site. You do. You need a committee you trust, people that kind of, you don't need yes people. You know, you need people that think kind of the same way, but then also you can have discussions about. I mean, you want to be simpatico.
A Knights of the Round Table, so to speak, a cabinet of some sort. Yes, got to have all of that. And hopefully at Arkansas, you know, Coach Pittman said they're looking at a general manager, maybe hiring one in the springtime. So we'll see if that happens in the next few months. Hour number 2 of halftime coming up. Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, 20 minutes. Otherwise, it's you and us. 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 30s north, upper 30s south. A decrease in any cloud cover tonight. And the overnight low will drop down in the mid-teens north, low 20s south. And then Wednesday, lots of sunshine, remaining cold. Our high right around 30 north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Carl Ravitch is our guest.
I would like to see some type of change where you don't have to get off to a slow start. The idea that Cal's teams have historically started slow, I'd have to go back and look at some of the national championship teams that he had at Kentucky. Did they start slow, or is that just a thing when you don't have 4 or 5 stars all playing together?
Weekdays from 9 to 11 only on ESPN 99.5. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hit.line.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones may take it to the house.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on halftime as we get into the second hour. Phil Elson here, Matt Jones, my partner, and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. It is our second hour, so we'll have Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation about 15 minutes. Otherwise, wide open for you for these First 10, 11 minutes or so. 877-377-6963 is the phone number. Got another commitment for the football team yesterday. The Razorbacks signing, well, guess not signing just yet, their 5th receiver out of the portal yesterday, Matt. This is Ismail Sisa, I think would be the way you pronounce his name. Comes from Stanford, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 26 catches, 241 yards, couple of the touchdowns for the Cardinal last year. Completely remaking the wide receiver room for the future, for obvious reasons, too. You got a lot of guys that are out of eligibility and can't play any longer or have transferred away. Cam Shanks from UAB, Raylan Sharp from Fresno, Courtney Crutchfield from Mizzou, Omega Blake from Charlotte, and Ismail Sisa from Stanford. And I'll have to check on exactly how to pronounce his name, but I've seen that name, Cisse, pronounced Sisa, before. And one thing I think of is that all of these guys, Matt, are coming in to play with Taylen Green. I mean, they know who the quarterback is here. They know, if they're paying attention, Taylen's strengths and weaknesses, the amazing amount of athleticism that he displays. And they have made the choice not just to come play for Sam Pittman, not just to work in a Bobby Petrino offense and play in the SEC and play for Razorback fans, but they're coming to play with Taylen Green. I should say hopefully good things about Green in the future because these guys have a track record behind them, specifically Shanks, Sharp, and Blake, and it feels like there might be more for Sisa moving forward.
What are we, 60 days till spring football? So let's get to work, man. Get enrolled in some classes, get going through the off-season workouts.
And start getting to know your teammates.
Get in the playbook. Yeah. No, that's pretty cool, man. It's a great time to be a college athlete. I don't know anything about any of these guys until we get to see them, and go work, man. Go get to work. You're gonna get to play. You're gonna play in a lot of big games. You're gonna play against a lot of talented players. You're gonna get to test yourself to see if you can play in Sunday. If you can play in the SEC and contribute and be in that top 2-3%, you can go play on Sundays. So let's get to work.
It's got to be, I think of Taylen just introducing himself like a rush chairman at fraternity rush. Hey, Taylen Green, rush chairman. Taylen Green, rush chairman. Taylen Green, rush chairman. He's got to introduce himself to nearly an entire offensive line, a whole group of wide receivers. I mean, that's a 5-wide group right there. If you go empty set, you got a whole set of wide receivers coming in here out of the portal. New tight end, new running back. Doesn't even count the freshmen that are coming in here that are looking up to the kid that's in his 4th year as a quarterback in college football.
Is Desmond James coming back? I know C.J. Brown is. I think C.J.
Remember, James went in the portal.
But but he's still in the portal, I guess, because we've had Braylon Russell went in and got back out. I didn't know maybe if he had got back in.
No, and Brown is still with the team. He did not go in the portal. That's somebody to build on.
I like C.J. Brown, and so maybe what's this kid? You just said he's 6'4". He's from Stanford. I don't know if
he's 6 foot. 6 foot tall.
Oh, 6 foot. Okay, because Desmond James is pretty tall. But yeah, maybe Desmond James come back or no, you don't think so. You think he's gone.
That's a good question, man. I guess if he were to come back and say, Coach, I think I'd like to be a Razorback. Do you go by that one performance? What about her? Like, well, he had the one performance and goes in the portal. Sam said to welcome him back if they do it the right way.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it also has to do with whether or not you can play.
Well, hey, I think
play on Saturdays.
If you're going to talk about ratings and how people are, I'll take Courtney Crutchfield over Desmond James if that's what we're going to do. I'm fine with that. If you don't want to be here, and then go on, and we'll get somebody who wants to be here.
I think Tuna wants to be here because he's called at his usual requisite time. Good afternoon, Charlie. How's it going today?
No big words today, Phil. I can't say the P word. R word, requisite? I mean, what is that? I'm just kidding. I know what it means, but
Charlie, there's a lot of P words. You had me really frightened there for a moment.
Now, you know exactly what P word I'm talking about because you got me yesterday, Phil, and I don't forget these calls. Remember?
Oh, plethora. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, yeah.
I can't wait for you to call tomorrow.
I thought it was Phil's favorite band, Fantagram. I didn't know what.
We got Fisherman Clay tomorrow, Tuna. So you'll get your punishment from the master of the English language tomorrow when you make your phone call in.
Here's the thing, Phil. I'm taking you down with me because you just said it. And I'm taking you with me. We're going down together. Hey, if I got to go down, I'm going down with Phil. I'm going down with Matt
I don't know
Jones.
if I've ever heard anything more frightening than this.
And you got Eddie too, Phil. I mean, think about it. If you want to go down, if you're going to go down in a situation, we are.
I mean,
the
like
best.
be defeated. Can we use a different term?
Yeah.
Can we say be defeated? Let's go there.
Okay, yes. Let's change the wording a little bit. I'm with you on that. Be defeated, be taken. Yes. Well, Lord have mercy. This is why the show's great. But anyway,
I think you need to call 12 hours from now, Charlie. I don't know who will be on the air, but I know it's the middle of the night and nobody will get in trouble.
Matt,
what's going on? What else do you have here?
Well, you guys were talking. I was thinking about Desmond James too, Phil. Is it where a lot of players now, like, they have these performances, but a lot of players, I think the cornerback, what was his name? Selman Bridges, he was going to get in the portal, but he came back.
He came back.
Are they testing the market, so to speak, almost like a free agent, right? Because are they getting in there and saying, okay, what can I go get over here? Like Luke Haas, he tests the market. We all know he can make probably whatever he wants and go anywhere, right? But for every player, it's not going to be that. I wonder with James if he's gets humbled a little bit, I can't make that. I'm with Matt. He might decide, but hey, but then Sam's gonna be like, hey,
end
bro.
up at App State.
Yeah,
Matt, isn't there a portion of the free agency period in the NFL where teams can just negotiate with their own players before they actually do become a free agent? Maybe you need that in college as well. I'm not talking about like a whole week or 2 weeks or something, a few days, so that you don't have to have these conversations the last week of the season when you're getting ready for the Missouri game, or if you're in a conference championship during the championship game. It's like a window that's locked in for teams to talk to their own players so that they can get a sense of what it is that they would like to make, and go back and forth with that. And sooner or later, I wonder if, when everything is decided upon, if you get to arbitration, I mean, that's the other aspect of this too. If there ends up becoming arbitration in college sports, which has become such a big thing in professional sports, specifically baseball too, but it's just a lot going on there, Charlie.
It definitely is. It's
but
tough.
I do think they're
it's
testing the waters. You go into the portal, you're testing for a number of things. You're testing for playing time. You're testing for a relationship, and then there's the money aspect of it too. What can you offer me in terms of just straight out cash?
And am I going to go somewhere maybe where I can, my recognition, is my draft grade going to grow up because I go play for a team that might make the Final 12, stuff like that. You're right. But I wanted to talk about something about this basketball team right quick before I get off. Guys, is it just me? Matt, when I think about the lineups and when you have all these guys that have missed so much time, guys that have had injuries and things of that nature, I think you got a coaching staff too trying to figure out who all can play with each other. Because I'm going to be honest with you, with the Duty era, this is a problem. We know he really can't shoot the outside shot, and so does the other teams. And it's not like he's playing against non-conference competition no more. He's not about to take this ball and just bully all these people in the SEC. But when you get him in the open court and stuff, he can do that. But when you also have Jonas out there with him, it makes it a little bit hard to space the floor. And I'm just saying, is it a matter of they got to get all these guys healthy? And I'm with you, Phil, Nelly Davis. We can't – I think the problem right now, we can't just be like, oh, man, he needs to make threes. But this guy can score too. So let's
get to the
draw
rim.
something.
He can get to the rim, but in order to do that, he's got to be healthy and to be able to dribble the ball properly with his hand.
That's the thing. Like, people are getting on him. I'm like, this dude he's not confident in his wrist right now. So it's got to be more than just what they're letting on. I mean, I think it's kind of like Kendall Diggs, right? He wouldn't swing at that fastball last year that was up and in that he normally would hammer. Like, he wasn't confident in it. So, I think it's all a matter of these players, getting healthy, and then the coach has been able to figure out who all can play together and when it makes sense. Because you got 9 guys, and you need them all healthy, and it just stinks that we have not had that fully this year. Anyways, I'm going to hang up. Y'all have a good one.
Charlie, thanks. It's good to hear from you. 877-377-6963. Thero's already taken more three-point shots this year than he did last year in 13 games. 6 out of 25 behind the arc this year. He was 7 for 22 last year. So he's never been a great three-point shooter. That's been consistent. The free throw percentage is the thing that's been a roller coaster.
Man, you got to get in the gym, get in the lab. The thing that I notice when he misses is his shot's too flat. So there's plenty of drills to do to work on that, you know. And so get in the gym and work on your craft, work your trade.
Can also get over to Andy's Frozen Custard if you're craving anything sweet and delicious. They have the perfect sweet tooth satisfy your sweet tooth. And the greatest frozen treats around. If you're gearing up for a big game coming up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, football playoffs, get over to Andy's Frozen Custard and take home a pick six for you and the family or your friends. 6 of your favorite flavors. It is the perfect game time treat. Andy's Frozen Custard is in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. They're in Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive, and North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange joining halftime right after this.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is halftime.
Arkansas, will you make the Final Four? In them wacky uniforms with the pigs with horns. And did I say you were playing a game today with the home crowd yelling woo, pig suey? Hey, those pigs may be hogs, but they're kosher to me. Capiche?
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas wins the national championship.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater,
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
Window, leave her a note. Will you come meet me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love, hard to find.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Always brings a smile to our faces here on Halftime when Alyssa Orange visits us. Of course, Alyssa from Pig Trail Nation with us each Tuesday on Halftime. Good afternoon, Alyssa. And how are you staying warm outside of just staying indoors?
Woo. Hey, guys. It's always great to be with you. I'm just right now chilling. I've got a little fireplace that's like an electronic fireplace, but it still pushes out heat. So that thing's been on the past couple of days, helping me out.
Anything you can do, too. And basketball
Lots
can
of
be
blankets.
fun. That's right. Yeah, the blankets work and laying yourself up and all of that. And extra hot showers, I think, also helps, too.
Yes.
What do you take away from the loss against Tennessee? How do you view that loss? It's a bad loss, but it's a really good number one team on the road. So how did you view that?
Yeah, it was. And I think you have to look at it as a growing opportunity and a learning opportunity. I really think that Tennessee was just much more physical. And even though Arkansas started off hot, not being able to really kind of maintain any kind of rhythm. And the biggest thing that I've seen with this team is there are times where they look like a complete basketball team, and there are other times where you're like, okay, I don't understand what's going on, like something is out of sync, and they've got to figure that out and be more consistent. And so I think, again, you're on the road in a very, very tough environment against the number one team in the country. I just expected a little bit more physicality, and it was such a big storyline with Jonas Aidoo going back to Tennessee. And sometimes guys have their best games when that happens, and then guys don't. And I think, it kind of was a big don't with Jonas, but I want to see a little bit more physicality with this Ole Miss team, who is also coming off a win earlier this week too.
What do you think about what we see from Adou Thiero right now? That's a guy that I guess I expected to see, better performance than what we saw Saturday. I'm hoping it's a blip on the radar because he's been so good up to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really big takeaway, too, is that when you don't have Adou Thiero scoring in double digits, you're going to suffer, specifically offensively, when you just don't really know what Nelly Davis is going to give you right now and what his role looks like. And I was talking about this earlier with some friends, but, I don't think that you take Nelly Davis out of the lineup. I think you continue to build up that confidence, but he's got to start becoming that scorer that he came in here to be, and be complementary to Adou. But Adou understands he's got a lot riding on his shoulders, him and Boogie. They've got to not only be there on the defensive side, but also scoring. Those guys have to be in double digits. And so, yeah, I think he's 6 points, though, if that's correct, if I remember the box score correctly. Just 6 points against Tennessee is not going to help your team win, obviously, and they're going to need more from him. And so hopefully, again, back at home, get him going, get him in a rhythm, and then it kind of almost trickles down from there, in my opinion.
Alyssa, back-to-back home games. I think they're going to be two totally different games. Ole Miss is going to slow it down and try to beat you up. Florida's going to be a track meet, and I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself. But then you go to LSU, to Missouri. Is there any way that this team you think we could run off 4 in a row, go 3-1 in this next stretch, or just kind of am I getting ahead of myself a little bit?
Yeah, I think 3-1 is a possibility. 4-0 would be great, but it's going to be tough. And I know you're playing Florida at home, and we saw Florida go down to the wire against Kentucky in Lexington on Saturday, and that was an exciting game because, again, anytime Florida loses is a good day for me. But Florida's going to come in here, and they're just a really good, fast-paced, physical team. You got to use that home environment to your advantage. Ole Miss is beatable, and then, you go and you play LSU and you play Missouri. Both of those teams lost on Saturday. But what you don't want to do is go 0-4. And I think that that's really obvious to say, but it's also very a very strong possibility if this team can't kind of get it going and get some consistency going. You don't want to look up and now you're 0-5 in the SEC and you're a really, really big hole because it's a hard league and winning is so difficult, especially on the road, that you're going to have to win games at home and then you're going to have to steal some on the road. So if you can't steal them at LSU and Missouri, I don't really know where else you find them.
Hey, Alyssa, I want to ask you about the college football playoff, and in the first one on January 9th, it's the Orange Bowl, Penn State, Notre Dame. Is it kind of a game where you think this get? Speaking of winning big games, and it's a lot of a lot of the national pundits talk about how Jimmy Franklin doesn't win the big game, his record against teams in the top 10. Could this maybe put that to rest, kind of put that to bed if Penn State could get past Notre Dame? How do you see that Orange Bowl going?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm going to be honest, I've always liked James Franklin. I have, even going back to when he was at Vanderbilt. And he's kind of a guy you always root for, even if you're not a Penn State fan or if you weren't a Vandy fan back in the day, that you want to see him have success. Because to me, I think he's a very likable coach. I think he does things the right way. I think that he's done so much with that program to get them over the hump. Just kind of that's like the one thing he just still kind of has that monkey on his shoulders. He just hasn't been able to do that yet. And he is so close right now. And it's also crazy. I know that this is a completely, I'm digressing here, but Arkansas beat Penn State a few years ago in what was then the Outback Bowl in Tampa, and then now Penn State. Now Penn State is where they are now, and it's just crazy to think about. But that's college football for you. And, I think so. But I also think that this is a really gritty Notre Dame team. And I also, too, really like Marcus Freeman. I think that he is such a good coach, a player's coach, a guy that you can root for, too, even if you're not a Notre Dame fan. So, that matchup is a little bit harder for me to pick a side with as opposed to the other one with Ohio State, Texas. And I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad. But I will be rooting for Texas in that game because I just cannot stand Ohio State. There are probably some people who are like, which one?
They got to put it a different way. You got to root against Ohio State, not necessarily for Texas in that case.
Okay. Okay.
It's all a matter of
all right, I'll word it that way.
Heck, I think you can root against both teams if you want. You just root for a really, really bad game that finishes, 6-3 or something, which obviously is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you look at that matchup,
Yeah.
Ohio State is a complete team. I think that the thing about Ohio State that you wonder is, do they show up? I can imagine they don't, but that's the thing about them. Do they show up? Otherwise, they're complete. They can move the ball in a variety of ways. There's strong defense. They can get to the quarterback. Texas is the wild card here because you're just not sure about their ability to throw the ball deep. I think Ewers is a good college quarterback, but I think there are times where he's lucky that the ball doesn't get intercepted more often. Yeah. It's just their defense is really, really good, and I feel like Texas plays to the level of their opponent.
That's a good point. No, I think you're absolutely right. That game is going to be really interesting to see which Ohio State team shows up, and then just how Texas just always finds ways. You know what I mean? Yep. And that's where you're kind of like, okay, Can they find a way against this Ohio State team that obviously, since that Michigan loss, is playing so well right now? I mean, that Oregon blowout was shocking to me. I don't think that they blow out Texas, though. I'm curious to see what happens. But I was going to say, I wish this Notre Dame-Penn State game was more of the national championship game and not the semifinals game that we have on Thursday.
You know, baseball's coming up. The perfect game rankings were released yesterday, 13th, which to me felt a little bit low. I thought you'd see Arkansas in the top 10. Now, this is the first of the polls. There'll be other ones coming out. 6 SEC teams are ranked ahead of Arkansas. So I started to think to myself, what are the question marks that those who are voting for perfect game or anybody else would have about this team? And right now, pitching is not it. I think you look at maybe first base, left field, and then just wondering about the ability for it to all gel together. And I do think that part of the reason that they're voted where they're voted is still because of losing in the Fayetteville Regional last season. Yeah,
I do. One, I'm excited for baseball. It's so crazy that it's right around the corner, and I know that you share in that with me. But you're right. 13 was kind of shocking in a sense because you're so used to them being in the top 10. But I think if you were to ask Dave, I think Dave would probably say we're probably right where we need to be because we still are figuring things out. And, you know, we don't want to sit here with a number 2 or 3 or 4 ranking bias and feel that pressure and just go out there and play baseball. And these preseason rankings are so, you know, based off of what people think you're going to do and not necessarily what you are doing at the time. And so, you know, I think that when you look at so many new pieces, like we're so used to now, especially in college sports, figuring themselves out as a team and who they are as a team, and then being like, okay, this team is better than what we thought. They're still growing, or, you know, oh, they're going to have work to do. But I'm excited to see when they open up the season against Washington State at home and then head on to Arlington and what this baseball team looks like.
Yeah, always going to be fun, and we enjoy visiting with you, Alyssa. Thanks for your time, as always, and we'll look forward to doing it again 7 days from now.
Okay, guys, have a good one. We'll see ya.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, with us each Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday here on Halftime. And Halftime is brought to you by the Clay Maxi Auto Group. They provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step of your car ownership experience. They feature personalized car buying experience, competitive, transparent pricing, and reliable, consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians. They always go beyond the sale, ensuring a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience to fit your vehicle needs. They have locations in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville, and at ClayMaxiAutoGroup.com, and they ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. The number on Halftime is 877-377-6963. More right after the break.
Last issue. Chaz Michael Michaels is figure skating.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is Halftime.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it.
Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front-row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The best mornings start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google, Yahoo it, or Bing it. Jasco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm not content to be with you in the daytime. I want to be with you all of the time. The time I feel right is right beside you. I want to be with you all day.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Great to be with you back here on Halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston producing. I hear that 45 will be making an appearance for the third hour today, Matt.
Oh, is it today?
Yeah.
No.
Is it today or is it later in the week, Kristen?
That's Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Golden
hour.
hour.
I guess I missed a very important piece of information from the email that Ty sent as far as our producer schedule is concerned.
Chrissy Hind.
That's who it was. Yeah. That was the Kinks in the background there. You know, I'm hooked on these Casey Kasem shows, all replays, of course, because he's dead, from the 70s and the 80s. And I learned a little bit of things from listening to it, and I learned that Chrissy Hind, when she was a music writer, and I think even before she was a music writer, wrote a very long fan letter to Ray Davies of the Kinks and expressed her, love and admiration for his music and everything. Then she turns into a recording star herself, Chrissy Hind, and they ended up dating for a long time. I don't know if they ever married or whatnot, but that to me feels a little bit more like a Paul Harvey thing. Like, now you know the rest of the story. And I did find a new a new Casey Kasem channel that I can listen to, Matt. It's from the mid to late 90s through, I guess, about 2004 and 2005. But here's the thing. I really enjoy listening much more to, like the stuff out of the 80s, like Prince or
Phil
Wham
Collins, yeah.
or Phil Collins or Huey Lewis
Billy
and the
Joe,
News.
Huey Lewis.
Celebrate their entire catalog.
Elton John, yeah.
You know whose catalog I do not celebrate? The entire catalog. And this is what the late 90s Casey Kasem American Top 40 shows are pretty much consisting of. O-Town, 96 Degrees, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, all of those recording stars. So it's a little bit different for me. It doesn't quite have the same nostalgic ring, let's put it that way. And no Billy Joel. I mean, what's with that? Come on.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a show that plays only that as bumper music. Those bands I couldn't tell you one of those. Yeah, man.
Well, I could. And it brings back some memories, too. I think I've told you this before. It was one of the moments where I thought to myself, what am I doing here? I was doing the broadcast for a rookie league team in Utah in 1999, Ogden, Utah, the Ogden Raptors. Really, really bad baseball team with a manager that got fired halfway through the season because he not only was a really bad manager, he was a miserable person, too. So somebody that when I walked on the bus, and you know they tell you that if they're not making fun of you, they don't like you. He made fun of me, and I don't think he liked me very much. He would say to me when I get on the bus and I hadn't shaved, we would just get a cat to lick that stuff off your face. That was always fun. But you get on the bus, and the next thing you know, what's the song with Tell Me Why with the Backstreet Boys? It comes on the speakers, and every
I Want It That
single,
Way.
Yeah,
Here we go,
every
Unit.
single player. Way to go. This is before you were born, Unit.
I had to lip sync that song.
See, Unit knows what's up.
In front of a bunch of people one time.
Maybe you were one of the Ogden Raptors back then and didn't even realize it. Even the Latino guys were singing this, and most of them couldn't even speak English, broken English, but they knew this. They knew the lyrics to "I Want It That Way," and they sang it.
And Living La Vida Loca.
Oh, those are the memories that I don't mind bringing back. It's just not the music necessarily. I don't need that. Chris says Huey Lewis is just too darn loud. And Greg in Farmington, I don't remember James Earl Jones. Did he do a Paul Harvey? I'd never heard that before. Joel in Fort Smith brought up the idea of Arkansas being ranked 13th in the preseason baseball poll, where you're really kind of used to being ranked in the top 10, sometimes the top 5, but it's all relative compared to everybody else that's there. And I do think that the preseason baseball rankings are, I don't know, they're pretty much worth the piece of paper that they're printed on. If I were to look at last year's rankings, I think they'd be quite a bit different than what ended the season. But I think with Arkansas, there's a lot of unknowns where A&M's got, almost the whole team coming back. LSU's got a big chunk of the team coming back. Same with Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. I think they've got more on the way in terms of returning production on the mound and in the field and at the plate than Arkansas does. I think it's the unknowns more than anything that it has to do with. You've got pitchers that were at Ohio State, ECU, Oregon State. I wonder if Aiden Jimenez will be able to pitch much this year, but it looked like he was throwing on flat ground about a month, maybe 2 months ago, so maybe the Oregon State transfer will be ready to go at some point soon. But I do think it's the unknowns more than anything, and the idea that there's just a couple of returning players that will be everyday players, pretty much Aloy at short, Diggs in right, and outside of that, there's just a lot of question marks. So how do you answer a question mark for a program that's used to being ranked in the top 10? And that means that those writers who are doing these rankings are used to putting them in the top 10 as well. Well, you drop them a little bit compared to some of the other ones. And he says here, if I was a coach of a good team, I'd much rather have my team outside the top 10 so that there's a little less pressure on you and you look better when you overperform. Well, I think the baseball team would overperform a 13th ranking. But, there are a lot of unknowns, And some of it also centers around junior college players making the transition from that level to SEC baseball. Thinking of the center fielder that came from southwestern Georgia and the third baseman, Iredale, who's from Australia. Justin Thomas is the outfielder I'm thinking of. These guys had just ridiculous numbers. at junior college. And when I watch them at fall ball, I think Iredale, without question, will translate to the SEC. And I think Justin Thomas also translates to the SEC. You wonder about left field. You wonder about first base, production there. I think this team finishes better than the 13th ranked team in the country. But then again, I'm a little bit biased. You know how that goes. Andy doesn't want Hog Baseball highly ranked. I think a lot of fans don't want them highly ranked because, I mean, if you look at Arkansas athletics and where everything is in terms of not pecking order, but how those programs are viewed and the amount of success that they have. I think the feeling has been that football's been too hyped up the last couple of years and hasn't reached to that level of success. But what is the level of success that the hyping has made you think was leading to? 7 wins, 8 wins. We had some people texting thinking there were 10 wins. With basketball, when you get John Calipari as your coach and you're hyping things up, you can't help but think about Final Four or playing to get to the Final Four. With this baseball program, it's an annual thing. It is, and it does feel, and I think that it is viewed this way, as win your regular season. Now, there's no divisions any longer, so it's not like you go for a West Division championship. You try to win the SEC regular season championship and go at it the best way you possibly can, and then hopefully the team's playing very well in late May into June, and that's where everything kind of comes around. And you don't know right now how a team's going to look in June, but I do think this will be a team that could potentially get to 20 SEC wins again, like they did last year. I think it'll be a deeper team, both in terms of pitching and hitting. I think there'll be more power, and I think they'll be a lot better than the 13th ranked team in the country. Maybe I'd think that no matter what, but I do think there's real reasons to feel that they can be better than the 13th ranked team in the country, which would mean winning a home regional and might also mean, well, if you're one of the final 8 teams, if you go to the College World Series, my guess is you're going to be ranked at least in the top 8. I'd love for this to be the year that they win the whole thing. Everybody would. That, of course, is the thing that's lacking.
I tell you, winning a regional or super regional is something I'll never take for granted again.
That's a good point.
It's very hard to do, and the last couple of years they haven't been able to do it, which has really kind of opened my eyes to just how hard it is.
I think that's a proper way to look at it. Maybe we do take it for granted a little bit. It's not a birthright that you just automatically win your home regionals because it's a tough place to play in the regular season. And, that's one of the things that's just so odd about it is Arkansas, I forget the number, but maybe 1 home series loss in the last 2 years, if that, and then 2 regional losses, which it just makes you scratch your head a little bit. But I also think that shows where the team is by the end of the season. They just weren't playing very well last year at the end, weren't hitting well, and it came down to whether or not Hagen Smith could go out and shut a team down on a Saturday, and it was the one time it just didn't happen. J.N. Rogers asks if we will have a Kops or Smith caliber pitcher emerge this year. Well, you're never going to see the kind of season that Kevin Kops had. That to me is an outlier. If you finish with an ERA under 1, you're just never going to see a season like that. And Hagen Smith, that was just a ridiculous season too, and some of the most amazing individual performances. I can't put those kind of seasons, up on a pinboard or something and say you got to attain this. But the guy who can break through is Gabe Gackle. Gackle already showed as a freshman that he can pitch in some real pressure cooker moments and has, a deep repertoire of pitches that can overpower batters, whether it's his fastball that gets near triple digits or the breaking ball, which just falls right off the table. He's got a good changeup too. It seems like a great competitor. He had some big late inning moments, and now he's going to switch over to a starting role. And I think one thing I'd really love to see from this year's starting rotation is just more innings. Quality innings, obviously, but just more innings and not tax the bullpen as much as we saw from last year, where it would be a little bit difficult to get pitchers through 5 innings. And Hagen was pretty much a 6-inning guy because he would go so deep in the count. And the starters, I'm assuming, will be Root from ECU and Beidelshees from Ohio State, both left-handers. So, man, you got some good lefties to neutralize some of the other left-handed bats in this league. And then Gackle is the right-hander. I think he's got the best stuff. The scouts are totally drooling all over him. And I don't know if he'll be the Friday guy or not, but he, without question, to me, is the pitcher that can break through in a way somewhat like Kopps did. Kopps came out of nowhere. Nobody expected that out of him. The season Hagen Smith had, yes, people thought he was a first-rounder for a long, long time. And then another one who you saw who broke out a bit last year, who should get the opportunity to close a lot of games, 8th and 9th inning, is Christian Fauch. Big, tall right-hander, saved a few games last year, also triple digits. What I love about Fauch is that he's got the high carry fastball and the splitter, so he's got that differential in the height of the pitch and the velocity that is just going to make people look ridiculous. If they're expecting a high fastball, they see it come out of his hand, and all of the moment it just drops 2 feet. Good luck. So Gackle and Fauch are the two ones that, man, they could break through. I think they will break through.
And hopefully they stay healthy this year. You know, with the way that it's kind of gone with our pitchers, that's kind of been an issue. But that's just because I believe it's linked to just how hard they throw. I mean, just the injuries we see. It's just kind of part of college baseball now.
Joel says if you want to break out, give him the beet juice. Beet juice was Kopps's magic serum, I guess, during the 2021 season. He got literally everybody on the team had beet juice at some point. I'd never seen a team drink beet juice as a team before. But, Kopps started drinking it. It ended up getting out. And the next thing you know, in the little, Circle K that I'll refer to, the whole snack area by the dugout, the next thing you know, there's a refrigerator, there's beet juice inside of it. And I'll tell you what, it actually tastes pretty good. And they have the beet chews, which are the little, beet gummies. Those taste good too. Matt, you're into foods like this. Try some beet chews.
Beets, Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
877-377-6963. We'll have a few more B's right after this.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Hi, this is Sydney from Ben Guerin. 2025 annual passes are now available at Ben Guerin Golf Course. We offer a variety of plans to meet your budget needs. We have special pricing for juniors, seniors, and military. If you're looking for the best golf value in the River Valley, then look no further than Ben Guerin Golf Course. Book your 2025 tournament outings now. For more information, call the Pro Shop at 646-5301, go to bengueringolf.com, or follow us on Facebook. When you think golf, think Ben Guerin.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's a port on the western bay, and it serves 100 ships a day. Lonely sailors pass the time away, talk about their homes. There's a girl in this harbor town. She works, whiskey down. They say, Brandy, fetch another round. She serves them whiskey and wine. They say, Brandy, you're a fine girl, but it's why you would be such a fine girl.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
If you're on 71B in Springdale, be careful out there. I see Melissa Hall from 4029 tweeted that there is a little band of snow over 71B in Springdale, causing slick spots, reduced visibilities, and traffic accidents. So again, that's on 71B in Springdale. Be careful out there. Small band of snow right now. Birthdays today. Head coach of the Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera, is 62. Todd Day turns 55 today. One of the all-time great Razorbacks.
Love some Todd Day, number 10. Your boy, Nicolas Cage, turning a Roger Maris today.
61?
You got it.
My gosh. I thought he was older than that.
Nicky
You're telling me that
Cage.
Nicolas Cage is only...
Celebrate his entire catalog.
14 years older than I am? I think he's lived a life that would probably look like it's 30 years older than I am. Good for him. Here's one I like. Eric Gagne. Remember him? Dodgers closer, former MVP. Turns 49 today. K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, has a birthday, 43. I remember K-Rod. I had him with the Travelers. I called his first ever professional start in Butte, Montana. He was a 17-year-old kid right out of Venezuela. Might have been 120 pounds sopping wet. 43 today. Lamar Jackson is 28. Today's his birthday. 2 MVPs before the age of 28, and maybe a third on the way. But my favorite birthday today is Kevin Mensch, who you might remember as an outfielder for the Texas Rangers. He turns 47 today. He had potentially, and I haven't found one that's any larger than this, the biggest head in the history of Major League Baseball. Now, I've read about Bruce Bochy, who is the Rangers manager. His nickname was Buckethead when he played in the big leagues, and he had a catcher's helmet that he took with him to every team he played for, because he couldn't find another one that would fit him, and he would just have it repainted. Mensch's head is larger than Bochy's. 8 1/4 is the size of his hat. I think he could fit 2 of Colton Little's heads inside one Kevin Mensch hat. And I am told that you can fit inside a Kevin Mench-sized hat 1.17 gallons of liquid. That is a lot swimming around a head. I'm a 7 1/4. I don't like his hat is a full inch larger than mine. And I don't do the fitted hats anymore because they all sit up. And I can't, it makes me look like I'm an alien, like I have this giant forehead. I need the ones that sit down. If you're Kevin Mench, you have the head that makes you look like it anyway. So lean into it.
Man, I think I have to agree with you, Lamar Jackson. I think it's either his or Saquon Barkley's. But you might be right. It might be Lamar Jackson's third.
877-377-6963. Anytime you want to get with us here on Halftime for calls and texts. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, 20 minutes from now. And our third hour is right after this break.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 30s north, upper 30s south. A decrease in any cloud cover tonight. And overnight low will drop down in the mid-teens north, low 20s south. And then Wednesday, lots of sunshine remaining cold. Our high right around 30 north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick, good pick.
KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here. You have to respect it. If I'm all right. Joaquin State dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, Matt, take it to the house. And the dunk.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What's ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back for halftime, hour number 3, taking up to 2 o'clock, where Ruskin and Zach will take you from there. Phil Elson with Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston continues to be in the producer's chair. I thought he'd be gone, but no, that's Friday. And I'm starting to remember that this is a 5-day week with a Tuesday here, but I do wonder if kids will be getting back into school for Thursday or Friday all across the state. It's like you just had 2 weeks off. You even got Monday off. The teachers did not in a lot of the school districts, but here comes the snow Thursday and Friday, and feels like the 2 days you had at school might only be just 2 days. That'll be about it. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, coming up in about 15 minutes. Got the college football playoff resuming on Thursday with the Orange Bowl and then the Cotton Bowl on Friday. Notre Dame, Matt, is a 2.5-point favorite. Ohio State, a 6-point favorite. So a little bit of a coin flip as far as the Orange Bowl is concerned, but Ohio State is a decided favorite over the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, who do you think he has? Ohio State and Notre Dame? That's who I'll be guessing that he has.
I do think. He's been on the chalk from the very start. I guess that would be the chalk in this case. I don't know. I don't even remember what the seeding was as far as this is concerned. So for me, can Penn State run the ball successfully against a Notre Dame defense that in the playoff has been allowing less than 2.5 yards per carry? You know, Penn State focused on running the ball against SMU, focused on running the ball against Boise State. You know, maybe in this game you take a chance, you put the game in Drew Aller's hands and the tight end and try to throw the ball a little bit, because it's awfully difficult to run against Notre Dame. And in terms of Texas and Ohio State, you know, Texas ran roughshod over Clemson. You see, they just fired their defensive coordinator. I think for that performance is what it felt like. They weren't very good against the run this year, but almost 300 yards rushing against Clemson. And it doesn't make much sense that they couldn't run at all against Arizona State. If it comes down to the game being in Quinn Ewers' hands, Matt, it's Ohio State's ball game. I wonder if Texas can move the ball on the ground against this Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Quinn Ewers is pretty good. He made some passes against Arizona State. You know, Sark is gonna want to throw it. I mean, he's gonna get his chances. Those two receivers, though, for Ohio State are two of the best in the country, number 2 and number 4. And then you add that in with those two running backs they got there, 32 and Junkins, and then Will Howard. Dude's a professional. You know, he's had a lot of reps, won a Big 12 title at Kansas State. You know, dude's a winner. Chip Kelly, that Ohio State team, that's explosive, man. That's as good as they get. Most expensive team in sports, at least in college football. Texas can beat anybody, man. That defense is good enough. You know, Sark gets kind of cute sometimes. That's kind of gets a little too cute. But yeah, I mean, physicality, man, that's going to be a fun one. I really think that's a coin flip game.
My choices here will be we still have to make our picks. I mean, we've got standings here as far as our halftime playoff pick'em is concerned, and Commissioner Jones did go through the standings after the quarterfinals. I don't think I can get to a point to where I can come back and win. I think Bill King has picked everything perfectly, hasn't it?
There's 3 of us at 5. Nope, 4 of us at 5. Bill King at 7. Doc at 6. And the artist formerly known as 45 at 4.
Do we even involve him in this anymore? Well, he's on the show Friday, the last hour. So it's like he
can finish
it out. He's the ultimate utility player. Yeah, he's the closer for the week. He is the relief producer for the week for us here on halftime. Will says Ohio State by 14. And I guess I'd be surprised if it ends up getting into double digits. You know what I mean? Who has Texas lost to this year? They've lost to Georgia 2 times.
And it's Georgia.
15-point loss and then a 3-point loss. One of the games at home, another game in a neutral site. And, man, I mean, you're a little bit
You know what they
nervous if
did?
you're-
They
if
went
you're
into the
Texas.
big house and beat Michigan. Michigan beat Ohio State. You know, I don't think it's just going to be some easy win for Ohio State to go run through Texas.
And I think of how difficult it can be to move the ball against that front. But then that also flies in the face of what Arizona State did on the ground. 214 yards against a defense that hadn't allowed more than 197 rushing yards in any game this year. It's so tough to run against them. Arkansas ran for 82 yards, 2.4 yards per carry. Of course, that does include the sacks. And remember, Ohio State got to Dylan Gabriel, I think it was 6 sacks in the ball game.
I don't think they've seen an offense like Ohio State yet. I know they're good on defense, but this is they're up against their match on this one. It's going to be tough.
Well, it feels like they haven't faced an offense quite like this yet.
Tennessee.
Well,
Tennessee wasn't great.
Tennessee, yeah, I mean I don't think that was necessarily a great offense. So let's look here. Oklahoma, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, A&M, Georgia, Clemson, Arizona State, Ohio State. It was the best offensive team out of any of them right there. I mean, the most they gave up was 30 to Georgia. Yeah, beating Arizona State, but Arizona State moved the ball against them, ran whenever they wanted to. It's just, I wonder how much of that is Scadaboo, just in his hard running. But, man, Ohio State's got 2 running backs that would be happy to carry the entire load, but when you split it between Henderson and Judkins, it's, you get a couple of guys that are fresh and really good, and man, Henderson they can both break him, but you saw from Travion Henderson, he can break free. Any hole, he could be gone.
Ohio State's scary. I mean, you think Will Howard, I know you like Riley Leonard and the way he uses his legs, but Will Howard can do the same thing. I mean, he's a winner, competitor, and there's a lot of talent on that offense. I think they're the best offensive team left in there. And, you look at if Texas.
Are they the most complete offensive team right now, just in terms of.
The thing about Ohio State,
there's no limiting factor to them.
The thing about Ohio State is, you have to defend every blade of grass with them. With the other teams, you don't. With Notre Dame, you don't have to. With Penn State, you don't have to. At times, they're not really going to beat you. You can take chances. Ohio State, number 2, number 4, 32-7. You miss a tackle, you go man and miss a tackle, and they'll take it 70 to the house. They got SEC speed everywhere.
877-377-6963 to get with us here on halftime. Again, Orange Bowl Thursday, Cotton Bowl Friday, and then you get your Super NFL Wildcard Weekend starting on Saturday. And I had mentioned a moment ago, so you don't see a lot of coaching changes at Clemson, but Dabo did make a change yesterday, firing the defensive coordinator, Wes Goodwin. He was the guy that had replaced Brent Venables, was there for 4 years. They weren't terrible against the run, but I think giving up near 300 yards in the playoff game might have been a step too far for Dabo. So they're looking for a DC at Clemson. And, hey, I mean, he's shown he will keep a coaching staff intact. That'd be a good place to work for any defensive coordinator. They were good defensively. I guess it's just there's so many surprises in these playoffs. I was surprised at how badly Clemson was pushed around by Texas. And then I was surprised how Texas got pushed around by Arizona State and found a way to win. It's just it's difficult to, you feel some things, and then you're shown during the game that you really don't.
You got to go get you some Samoans, man. You got to go get some of those Islanders, Pacific Islanders. I mean, those dudes are strong, man. Arizona State, you come in with a couple of those Hawaiians on your team, and they're tough to move. I mean, two of my guards in Jacksonville, Phil, were from the islands. 2 of the toughest dudes I've ever been around. You talk about SEC strength and just different next level animals. I mean, that's a very good recruiting base.
Dawson asked, you see where Will Howard wasn't allowed on the Rose Bowl stage win? I did see that. So what was the situation there? Why wasn't he allowed up? I guess his teammates didn't step down to let him up, but was it a matter of too many people already on the stage?
Yeah, that's kind of
dangerous?
what it was. Yeah, I mean, they have certain people that they want. They probably had it figured out before the game or whatever, but Will Howard was not let on immediately. I don't know if he ever was let on.
I don't know. I guess you just assume the quarterback might be one of the first ones to get up on the stage with the confetti falling and handling the trophy, but he must have had some other things going on. It's just a matter of if he was up there before the other guys, he would have been the one up there. But it does look weird. You know, the guy who's the winning quarterback of the game can't get on the stage and has to listen to everything that's said at that point. We'll do all the confettis all over again, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went up there. Don't go up there. You don't want that trophy. It's just kind of like winning the Eastern Conference. What do they do in the Stanley Cup? Don't they there's the Fighting Irish. They're famous. The number one. He just got here. Number one.
Zach's in the headquarters, huh? Well, no, you're right. I mean, so the only way that I think about this, like you have a dog pile when you go to the College World Series. This means you're one of the final 8. You cut down the nets when you go to the Final Four. You're one of the Final 4. It's just they're not necessarily like these big, gigantic ceremonies. Do we do the coach speaking in front of everybody? Dave doesn't get up and speak to the entire crowd after they win a super regional. I don't remember if that happens for basketball for the Final Four, but you cut down the nets. They're throwing confetti for that too. It's just, you're right. You get a trophy when you go to the Final Four because you're a regional champion of that whole side of the bracket. It's just these celebrations are so big in these football stadiums. It just feels like you're celebrating a national championship at that point instead of, and I feel weird when you refer to, champion of a bowl game, because to me, the word champion is true supremacy of the sport. Winning an Outback Bowl or winning a First Responder Bowl or whatever doesn't really make you a champion. It makes you the winner of that game. It just looked a little bit odd with the confetti and everything. But maybe you're right. Maybe that's a statement a quarterback can make. That's a nice, pretty-looking trophy up there. I'm looking for the bigger one instead. Greg says in the NHL, every member of the winning team after the final game gets to take the trophy and do a lap around the ice. But they do that for the Stanley Cup championship, not for the East or West Division or Conference championship. Of course, those conferences used to have names. I think one was Wales, the other was Campbell, and they don't do... they do a little trophy presentation, but it's not treated as the end-all, be-all of what that championship is about. Same with the NFL. You get the Lamar Hunt Trophy when you win the AFC Championship. There's a stage and all of that, but we all know that the Super Bowl is what it's all about. And you can be at Joe's Grilling Cantina, of course, to watch the playoff games. It's the best place to be watching football, especially on Saturdays with endless enchiladas and $15 pitchers of beer, margaritas, and sangrias. And today is a Tuesday, so it's Taco Tuesday. At Joe's Grilling Cantina, Taco Tuesday features $1 crispy beef or chicken tacos all day long. Pork carnita tacos, $2.95. Pork belly and brisket tacos, $3.95. You'll find Joe's at 74th in Fort Smith across from Harps and online at joesfortsmith.com. We break, and Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio joins us on Halftime next.
The jerk store called. They're running out of you.
This is Halftime.
I wanted to find someone who would embrace Arkansas and the opportunities to build on a rich tradition that includes 22 conference titles, 14 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 Elite 8 appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a 1994 NCAA championship.
The head coach of your Arkansas Razorbacks, John Calipari.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel it as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Bill King hosting 6 to 9, Monday through Friday, WNSR Nashville Sports Radio, the king of college football talk, and we always appreciate a visit from Bill on Tuesday afternoons. Bill, happy Tuesday and happy New Year to you. What's going on?
Yes, sir, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah, playoff football starts up again on Thursday. If I were to ask you, what do you think the number one offense amongst the 4 teams that are left is? Which of the 4 teams would you take?
Total yardage, points, which category?
Just the
Any
most
category?
complete. Just whatever you think is the best offense.
Oh, I would say if Ohio State's going to play this way, which is pass first to set up the run, and Travion Henderson and Quinshon Junkins, but in that order, are going to be as good as they are. It's got to be Ohio State. Plus, they've got Jeremiah Smith, who is a generational freshman wide receiver talent.
You got him and Ibuka, right? Yeah, both those dudes are going to play on Sunday. They are absolutely explosive. Hey, if you were gonna rank these four quarterbacks, because I know in the NFL you get to playoff football, you kind of who has the better quarterback. How do you rank these four quarterbacks that are left in the playoffs?
Is the calculation high end Sunday or
high end? Who's got the most talent? You know, not necessarily the offense, but who's the best of the quarterbacks? If you had to pick your guy to start a team with or whatever.
These four, I would go with Drew Aller first. I'd go with Ewer second. I would go with Will Howard third, and then Riley Leonard. And by the way, Riley Leonard is perfect for what they're doing. So it's not a knock on him. It's just he's not a balanced quarterback.
Yeah, I only think two of them play on Sundays. I think Drew Aller and Quinn Ewers play on Sunday. Yeah.
Right.
Well, how do you expect Penn State can try to defend against how Notre Dame moves the ball? Do you stack it up there and dare him to throw?
Yeah, they're if they have to throw to win the game, I doubt they can do it. Now they can throw within the balance of the offense, but if you got to throw, we have to give up our stars, which would be the running backs. The other problem is that Jeremiah Love, who I think is the best running back in the country, Notre Dame sophomore, has got a bad knee. Well, he's got a gimpy knee. And I was watching some practice clips, and not that you get to see much, but he's limping around out there, and he got it hurt in that last game. Now, Jadarian Price, the other running back, is a fantastic running back as well, and Aeneas Williams is a freshman. They play a lot. They're good at running back, but Love is the best running back in this tournament, so to speak. So that would be a problem, but he's not I think he's a go, but I don't think he's going to be 100%.
Why does it feel like Penn State is fourth best out of these four teams? And what does Penn State do well enough? If they're going to beat Notre Dame, what are they going to have to be able to do well enough?
One-dimensional, first of all, like we talked about offensively, and then probably get Notre Dame out in space. This is a incredibly well-coached Notre Dame team on both sides of the ball. Mike Denbrock, offensive coordinator, Al Golden, defensive coordinator, probably the best set of coordinators in the country on one team. And the other thing is, as good as Notre Dame's been on defense, everybody has isolated out their one cornerback, Christian Gray. And it's been a struggle, and he's lost a lot of confidence. And I would think that from the very get-go, they're going to pick on him. And you've talked about him. They've got the best tight end in the country in Ty Warren, and that's a very difficult matchup for Notre Dame. I don't care who you got at linebacker. That's a losing matchup.
What is it about Marcus Freeman that's gotten Notre Dame to where they are? Why do you think he has been so successful so quickly?
Because he did not buy into the theory from Brian Kelly, which I like Brian, but that we have to shop down a different aisle to get guys here. And you can still get talent, but we just can't chase Johnny Five-Star as much. And they're doing it, and they're having more success at it. And I just think it's believing. I think it's the perception publicly that you believe. It's the ability to sell it to the players. Let's face it, guys, he's learned a lot on the job, too. I mean, made some horrible mistakes a year ago in the Ohio State game early on when they could have won that game. He's made mistakes on the field. He's had to grow as a coach on his own, and that's been difficult. I think we've seen a guy really rise up the last couple of years as a head coach.
All right, Bill, it's unofficial. Well, it is kind of official, but you're winning our contest. Who do you have in these two games? I mean, you've picked everyone right so far. Who do you got in these two games coming up?
Well, assuming that Will Howard stays clean, which he has in the first two games, Ohio State's not going to lose. I can't see it. You'd have to score a whole bunch of points. I don't think that happens. A big points-y game is not good for Texas. Now, this is be as good a defense as Ohio State's seen, but they've got to get to Will Howard. I'm assuming they don't do it enough, so I've got Ohio State winning. And that other one, I'm playing mental gymnastics with. I'll go with Notre Dame. and say that the James Franklin stigma, which is can't win a big game, sticks. But either way, that one is a absolute coin toss.
That one is going to be, kind of who wins the turnover battle and who can kind of score first. Can somebody get up 10 early first and kind of get the other one out of their rhythm? If they can, I think that one they'll just be in super control. But that's kind of your mindset, because it's almost like who's the first one to score like 19 points in that Penn State Notre Dame game.
Yeah, I doubt that. If that gets points, I don't think that's good for Notre Dame. I'm with you. Probably low 20s. 23-21, 24-21, 21-17 type game. And I think getting behind early, let's say more than a touchdown, is worse for Notre Dame.
Back in the Cotton Bowl for a quick moment, because you'd mentioned you think for Ohio State it's pass to run. What about Texas? I was just shocked that they were unable to move the ball on the ground against Arizona State when they ran for nearly 300 against Clemson. They got a couple of really great running backs, a good offensive line, so it didn't make very much sense. What's the balance there for Texas? How can they open things up? Because I agree with you. They need it to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, this thing cannot be those receivers, Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, Carnell Tate, the tight end, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Junkins. They can't be in green grass all day, or you just pack it up. That's a bad sign for Texas, but they're going to throw to set up the run. And you're right, they're not that good of a run team. Certainly in a situation like this, they're very good at wide receiver. Their best receiver, one of their best receivers, is Isaiah Bond, who transferred from Alabama, and he's had an ankle for about half the year that's just been irritating the heck out of him. He'll play well, and then he'll start limping around. You guys have seen that through your years too, and they need him to be right. He's a home run hitter if he's right. They've got one of the best young freshman receivers in the country that they got out of St. Louis, very highly recruited kids. They've got talent, but the key to that game is the line of scrimmage, but specifically the Texas defensive front, which is very stout, and their ability to disrupt Will Howard. If they can't, you can switch the channel.
What's your opinion on the overall 20,000-foot perspective topic of college football right now, in which the SEC has slipped a little bit and is not the dominant conference that it had been before, and potentially, the Big Ten may be, if you look at it in these terms, a quote-unquote better conference overall in football? Is it a blip on the radar, or is this something – it's like you worry about it with the SEC? It's not like the SEC is about to drop into ACC or Mountain West levels or anything. It's still an amazingly great football league. It's not what it had been. Why is that?
I think it makes good social media banter, and it's acrimonious. It's polarizing. I don't think we have near enough data to go there. Now, I'm not saying that can't be the future. I'm just saying I'm skeptical about taking 1 year and saying this makes it the law of the land. Fact is, the SEC beat each other up a lot this year. Maybe not Texas with their schedule, but inside that league it was tough. Georgia with 2 losses. Georgia is, by their standards, down, particularly offensively. Alabama's down by their standards. You can't be as good as you need to be with those 2 teams not being what they need to be. And that's where it all starts and stops. Now, Texas has helped a lot because Texas, for the first time since 2009, last year and this year, they're back. And they're going to stay as a national threat. But you've got to have Georgia and Alabama as threats more so than they are right now to have your league right. And I think that day is going to return for them.
All right, we can leave it there, Bill. Always appreciate you hopping on. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy the games, and we'll visit about the championship game next week.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. You can get a listen to him on WNSR Monday through Friday from 6 to 9. And you can always listen to all of our shows on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com on the brand new Hit That Line Now app. It's fueled by Taco Bell and the Taco Bell $7 Lux Cravings Box with 3 full-size classics, chips, nacho cheese sauce, and a drink that's Lux for less. And the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell, where every bite is a win. The home stretch of halftime right here, 877-377-6963. More when we come back after this.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We were talking a few days ago. We thought we could probably pull off a show where all of the intros to the segments are covers of the very same Beatles song. You haven't done that yet, but you just picked one you can do that with. I think you could probably pick like 20 Beatles songs that you could do, probably over 50 to 60 to 70 covers of them. Ticket to Ride, 112 different versions of it. We could do like about 3 weeks of shows worth just using various versions of Ticket to Ride as our segment intros.
You could do I Heard It Through the Grapevine. There's a lot of covers of that one as well.
That one worked as well. Or we could use this. I like the Ed McMahon hype haka in the background there, Seaburger movie unit, Sea Haka. This came in from Joel in Fort Smith because, Matt, you were talking about a couple of your former teammates in Jacksonville that came from Hawaii. Did they do the haka dance before?
I can't see
game?
Matt doing that if he was on Hawaii.
I don't think I'd see Matt doing it.
I don't think that'd be a deal breaker right there.
They what about the All Blacks from New Zealand? Don't they
do
got
it too?
Yeah, yeah.
You can see there. I remember watching their female rugby team performing a pre-match haka in the Olympics over the summer, and it was frightening, man. It really was. Joel in Fort Smith sent that one in. So I loved it. I loved it. This haka dance is the Hawaii football team, October 10th, 2015. And they look, I mean, when you can hear the haka, that's one thing. Watching them do it is another thing because it's the look on their faces. It almost looks like they're ready to literally devour their opponent. I mean, eat the opponent with the way they're licking their lips and kind of, I mean, literally, I'm watching this number 48 here, licking his lips and baring his teeth. He looks like he's about to eat his opponent. But they ended up going, so they're playing San Diego State in this game. They went out for a 28-14 loss, and that was the third of a 9-game losing streak. So it doesn't matter quite how intense you are pregame with your haka dance. The next year, they lost to San Diego State 55-0 while doing the pregame haka too.
Aztecs, man, they don't take it on easy on anybody when it comes to the gridiron.
I guess they do not. Vince Monoway, Chris in Springdale says was the Manuai, the other Hawaiian teammate that you had.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Manuai. I couldn't remember his name.
Benny and Chris. Chris had played for the Saints for a little bit. He was he's an all-pro guard, man. They were both studs, man. Just good salt of the earth people though, too, man. Go get your slippers, brother. We going. So, yep, let's go.
We've got the Hawaiian influence on the Arkansas baseball team still. You get the two Aloy brothers, Kohio and Veheva. And then there's Nolan Souza. So, I mean, I've not seen them do a haka pregame, but, you know, Veheva had that really cool-looking, beautiful, flowery bats. I think one of them was a dragon bat last year, so he had a little bit of that flair too. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on halftime. No Razorback game tonight, but there are other SEC basketball games. If you're so interested in watching, the Razorbacks get Florida on Saturday. Florida's hosting Tennessee tonight. You want to talk about a high-level basketball game, that'll be it. Tennessee's a tremendous defensive club. Florida's a tremendous offensive club. So it should be a fun one to watch if you're so interested. 6 o'clock on ESPN2. And I think there'll be a few of us will be watching that, including every single Razorback basketball player, because that's the team they just lost to and the team that they're hoping to pull off an upset against on Saturday. Here's Cabbagehead, who's called us at 877-377-6963. Cabbagehead, what's up?
Hey, man, you were mentioned got a ticket to ride in 100 and something different versions. Does that mean that if McCartney or Lennon wrote that, or McCartney, every time it's played on the 100 and something, they get a piece of that. Is that correct?
I thought they sold their catalog already. I think somebody else is getting a piece now. Didn't they sell the Beatles?
They sold it to Michael Jackson, I thought it was, in the 80s, the 90s.
Yeah, they did to Michael Jackson, and McCartney thought he was kidding him. And then when he looked into it, he was telling the truth, and he had them all. And then I heard that, McCartney finally got them back. I didn't understand that he had sold them again.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, no, I didn't know he'd gotten them back.
Yeah, I think that I might be mistaken, but I think in the passing of Michael Jackson, with the estate, I think he got them back, but he sure didn't think he was very serious, but he was. He wound up with all of them somehow, and now I thought that McCartney had them back. But I tell you what, guys, you have to agree with me. You'll never find anybody any better than the Beatles, McCartney, and Lennon on the songs that they wrote. You can turn on or get in any elevator today, and you still hear them as long ago as that was. That's for sure.
Any Stones fans out there that feel like getting into an argument about this with Cabbage Head like they had in the 60s, you can call in 877-377-6963. Cabbage Head, how are you feeling about the Stones?
Well, when I was growing up, I learned how to play a lot of those songs, and I agree, that they did their part too, and you still hear songs. It's just like I was talking about ZZ Top the other day, and you look on your TV, and you'll find an insurance ad commercial, and then you'll turn and find a Nissan. And what song are they playing on those? LaGrange. And it's just, some of those things are timeless. I know I always compliment you on a good bumper music, but man, there's some of that stuff will be with us for a long time.
Yeah, certainly will. Cabbage Head, it's good to hear from you. Thank you very much. Tell you one band you'll never hear in commercials, the Beastie Boys, because it was actually said, I think it was MCA that said it, you won't hear me in no advertising. There was a line before it that rhymed. I don't remember exactly what it was. Chris said Stones over the Beatles every time.
Well, yeah,
the other direction.
Jimmy Morrison overall, anyways. Though the Doors rule.
And Matt Jones has entered the chat. George Harrison, the biggest underrated Beatle, according to BE.
Well, it has to be because it's McCartney and Lennon are going to be 1-2, however you do it. So yeah, I mean, who is it, Ringo or George? And
easy choice.
Yeah, it's not that hard to do.
Quite an easy choice.
And you know who knows all four of the Beatles' names now because of halftime homework? Well, his first assignment, I'm pretty sure, was to know all. Who are the four Beatles, Unit?
George Harrison. Paul McCartney. Gosh. Eddie. No.
Boom. You're done. You lost.
2 out of 4 ain't bad. 2 out of 4 ain't bad.
You lost Final Jeopardy.
You get to come back and take the same course next year again.
I got to.
Do you have to we have to reissue?
We just said all four of their names in the last 48 seconds before we gave him the question.
John Lennon.
It's obvious. No show producer ever pays attention to everything that's said. But I mean, C-Unit is the hype man here. He is Ed McMahon reincarnated.
That's my
into
job.
A radio
I do
studio
hype you
producer.
That's
You're supposed to.
That counts for something, right?
You, sir, are correct.
I do listen because I laugh at a lot of the stuff y'all say. I didn't catch that part.
All you got to do is laugh. You don't even have to know what we said. You think Ed McMahon knew every joke that Carson just said? He knew what his job was. It was to make Carson feel good about himself and to get the crowd thinking everything that Johnny said was funny. It's your job. You don't need to hear what we say, but you do need to remember the Beatles' names. And then there's a fifth Beatle, and maybe even potentially a sixth Beatle if you're looking into it, and that's a whole other level of education.
And a female Beatle.
Yes, who nobody really wants to acknowledge any longer. I don't even know if you know her name, C-Unit. Man, I mean, and school is in session now, Matt.
It's about to be halftime
I didn't know
homework
there was a girl, man. I didn't know
It is definitely in session.
There's always a girl.
She sang in a very, very special way. It sounded a little bit like this. I can't even do it. I can't do a Yoko. People try to do a Yoko. Her name was Yoko. And like the Bare Naked Ladies say, C-Unit, you could be my Yoko Ono. I don't really know if we need that because we don't need to break up the show.
In the L.A. years with My Pain. We can go B-sides there.
Wow. The B-sides are the tough ones to remember. Those would be the tough ones to remember. But we do have to come up with some halftime homework here. Things that C-Unit needs
I need to
be
sharpen,
educated on.
yeah, resharpen my skills.
Yeah, your pencil lead is about empty at the moment. You need to sharpen that stuff up. So now that we're into January and Arkansas football is done, Matt, you're the commissioner, which makes you the professor too. Do we wait for the end of college football season, for the actual championship game, or do we start halftime homework up next week? What do you think? Or maybe at the end of this week?
No pressure.
None.
Yeah,
this is very important information to figure out here because C-Unit has a lot to learn. Heck, I got a lot to learn. Not quite sure about that. Chris in Springdale says he likes Yoko. She's not that bad. She broke the Beatles up, Chris. You take that T-shirt off, you're going to break up my favorite band.
That's right. That's
how
right.
It all goes. Take that Yoko Ono T-shirt off, Chris. I know you're wearing one right now. I also know that you're looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button. Very easy to go to lurenet.com. They have all the brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. The site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you're not going to find anywhere else for your favorite brands. And lurenet.com has free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35. Check them out online, lurenet.com right now. And we'll wrap up halftime right after this.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is halftime.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Behind the bridge, he lays her down. He frowns to my life's a funny way. Am I still too young? Because look there, she took his ring, his babies. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. Oh no, she'd have taken anything.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Goodness, following Belichick on Twitter now. I never thought I'd actually do this. His Twitter is UNC. It's UN Chapel Bill is Bill Belichick's Twitter account. And now he's going to be the next Lane Kiffin. Look at it. He's going to troll everybody. Now he's sending photos out from Carolina barbecue places. It doesn't look like one I've been to before. It says barbecue center on it. We were in North Carolina for the women's basketball thing at the Cherokee Casino a month ago, and I'd forgotten about this. But I spent a summer in North Carolina working for a minor league baseball team. That's a state that puts the health grade for every restaurant where everybody can see it. And I remember distinctly eating at one restaurant that had a B grade. It was the only B I saw in the entire state for those 4 months. Bill Belichick isn't going to be eating at any places with a B grade.
Do you think they're excited for Bill Belichick at North Carolina, kind of like we were with Cal, championship coach? I just feel like
I can't imagine how they're not.
Yeah.
But this is something that's completely different that has never been tried before. This is it's a little bit like Bill Walsh, but Walsh had already coached in college before he went to the pros. And then, wins Super Bowls 3 times, ends up going back to Stanford. This is different. Belichick's never been a college coach before. I don't even think he was ever an assistant of any kind in college. Maybe at Army, because his dad, he grew up around it, but that was a long time ago. It was a different college football. But I can't imagine how they're not excited about it. I mean, he's on the short list of greatest coaches in the sports history, whether it's college or the NFL. Yes.
Well, isn't his boy the D coordinator for him?
I think that was planned
because I bet it's kind of a deal where he's Bill's in charge, but I think he's letting his boy do it. He doesn't have to worry about being an assistant coach. He's still the figurehead. He's still kind of has the, what you said about Bobby Knight. When you saw Bobby Knight walk into a room, he has that. He still has that, but I don't know how much, kind of how Bobby Bowden was at the end of his career. And I know the bad things that happened at Penn State, but the same thing Joe Pa was. Joe Paterno, his last 7 years. Bobby Bowden, his last, 7 years. He wasn't really the coach, but he is the coach. He's the figurehead.
I think the word is gravitas. And Cal has that, and Belichick has that. The gravitas comes with success and personality. And those two things have to come together, I think, really to have that kind of presence. Knight was a little different because I remember as a student at Indiana for 2 years, and it's like the moment he would walk into Assembly Hall's floor, every eye was on him. It's like everything quieted just a tiny little bit at that point. You can imagine what it'd be like when he walked into a room of just maybe, 15 or 20 people. And I don't view Belichick like that. Belichick doesn't embarrass you at a press conference. He just doesn't answer your question. Bobby Knight will put you on blast and make you feel stupid for asking that question and then put on some sort of comedy routine. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know if it's going to work, but yes. I think you got to be fired up about it if you're a North Carolina fan. And I'm fired up about the end of the show today. It's been good stuff. We appreciate your calls and texts. The halftime East Side Liquor podcast coming out shortly, including our talks with Alyssa Orange and with Bill King. And then tomorrow we'll do it all over again. We'll have Grant Hall, 11:15, Clay Henry joining us from 12 until the end of the show. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few minutes. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. We appreciate you tuning in today. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.
Watch every